I was kind of the junior broker there. I didn't actually touch the systems or anything. I did everything else except put the orders in or close the orders because I need a brokerage license for that. People message us on the Bloomberg terminal. I get 80% of the profits. I think that's a pretty good deal. And they have this free trial and you just trade for free just to test your skills. I did that and I passed like the first phase like 3 times with that. I'm like, I can do this. I'm so good. And then I took it and I failed. I flopped. I'm like, what the hell?
Welcome to Fruiting Body Podcast with your host, Brendan. Today, we have another legend of a guest returning. It is Tiger Lees. I'm going to keep this intro short, simple. We're going to get it started right away. We're not even going to tell you what this is about. So without further ado, Tiger Lees. All right, bud. Thanks for coming back. Yeah. I guess let's just do a little bit of a recap. You were on before. We were mostly talking about crypto and you're heading to Singapore. Now you've went to Singapore. What were you doing there? Share that experience with us.
Okay, so the last time I was here, I was 15. That was a year ago, right?
About a year, yeah.
Yeah, and a couple months after that, five months after, I went to Singapore to do a internship at a brokerage named JB Drex. Yeah, they have multiple offices, but I went to the Singapore office. And yeah, I was kind of the junior broker there. I didn't actually touch the systems or anything. I did everything else except put the orders in or close the orders because I need a brokerage license for that. So people would message us on the Bloomberg terminal. You know what Bloomberg is? Yeah. And then I put in the ticket. My coworker would put in the system. We'd stamp it, everything, and then once it gets filled, stamp it again, write it down, and then we'd put it on the table behind us where the orders would be filled. And there's also another table for pending orders.
But this sounds like it's a little bit of manual work.
Yeah.
Like old school. This is how are they doing this for large orders or how does institutional orders?
Yeah. They have banks trading with them, mainly trading the treasury bonds. Some might trade the indices like SP 500 or NASDAQ 100. But mainly just the treasury bonds, like the US 10-year, US 30-year, and sometimes 2 years, 5 years.
We're watching the markets now. It's not the bonds are the yield. They're these treasuries. They're taking a hit right now.
Yeah.
We won't go too much into that because I guess people watching this podcast, they want to understand who are these people on it, what's it all about, and what's your story a little bit. Let's jump back now. Before was it more an internship?
Yeah.
How did that even come about? I mean, you're 15 years old going for your summer for an internship in Singapore in a brokerage firm. How did this all connect together? How did you even find this?
So at that time, I wanted to be a trader, but I wasn't doing anything to pursue it. So when my dad wanted me to find an internship, and one time he was having lunch with his mates, and then he's like, "Oh, do you know anyone who would take Tiger to do an internship?" And by chance, he's like, he wanted me to go to his brokerage. He's the managing partner at JB Drex. So he invited me along for 2 weeks. And at that point, I just learned a lot more than I knew before, like a lot more.
Well, we had PJ on last week, and he did some time in Singapore, and I don't know, we're not calling it jail time, but he said it was definitely a different experience. Can you talk about your experience and the difference between living and growing up in Phuket and now, I mean, basically living on your own, not essentially on your own, but having that more grown up experience in Singapore, working in a brokerage firm, and who were you living with? What was that experience like? And just talk about the differences.
My dad's friend was out of Singapore, and so we stayed at his place, but we both think he just had us stay there, so we'd water his plants. So he was kind enough to let us stay there. And I took the bus to work every day. It was only like 2 Singaporean dollars, which is like 50 baht. So there and back, $2.
Well, and who knows, Singapore, it's probably Rolls Royce buses. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's not You're not picturing the bus in downtown Detroit.
Yeah. They were standard buses, but compared to here where there's like chicken buses,
Yeah.
the chicken bus. Yeah, it's a lot nicer. I've been on chicken buses, but never actually used them properly
Those like
from
the
time to
the
time.
jeepneys, right?
Jeepneys?
Are they? I think they're like the blue little pickup where people kind of hail them down on the side roads here. I think are those. What do you mean chicken buses?
It's where it's the open bus that was. I think you pay to get on, and it's like no aircon. It's completely
Yeah.
open. It's just two sides, two lanes. I mean,
Yeah.
and just like a slot in the middle where you could also sit.
Yeah, I think they also call them jeepneys. Same thing.
Mhm.
So when you're in Singapore now, this job, anything in finance related, it's usually long, 12, 16 hours, 16 hours days. Did you actually have any chance for leisure time, or was it strictly going to work and coming home?
Yeah, I did have a couple hours after work. I'd go in. Well, it differs from the day. On the Mondays, I had to go in at 5 a.m. On like other days, my boss would tell me, "Oh, come in on 7 tomorrow. Come in 8 tomorrow," and then I'd leave at either 5, 6, or 7. I think mainly 5 and 6, depending on the time. But yeah, I had a couple hours after after work, so I was fine. But I didn't have that much time to trade, or no opportunities came about after work. So
This type of work, it's more like, is it more go for work? I mean, some people will say, it's kind of you're doing these more basic tasks to help the actual brokers get their job done.
Yeah, I'd say it's more like that. But I think when it got got a little busy, I did make an impact, make a small impact. But I think I did help.
Now, living, PJ was on the podcast, so PJ's behind the camera. He's helping out a bit over here. He explained his time in Singapore and where they can treat younger people a little bit different. Essentially, they can be a bit tricky. They can treat you like an adult. Did you have any strange experiences in Singapore?
Nah, that everyone was kind, really. Everyone was nice. I think my coworkers were a little like restricted talking to me because, well, maybe the first few weeks, the first 2 weeks, no, first week. I think they were restricted because I was wearing like a full white what's it called, full sleeve shirt, and they were all laid back with like clothes like yours. So like I was the only one in the entire office dressed up, and my boss was also dressed up sometimes. But yeah, I think that like made us not too close in the beginning. But yeah, we're close now.
How did you prepare for this job? I mean, I'm assuming you must have been nervous probably going in on that first day. What the hell am I going to expect? Am I even going to be able to handle this? What was your preparation so you felt comfortable and confident?
Well, before I actually went, I was doing a finance course, finance and economics, or just economics, on an online website called Coursera.
Yep.
Yeah, so I was learning about the economy there and learning about like theories. There was one that stuck out. I think the most well known is like efficient market. Yeah, I'm sure you would know that too, right?
Yeah, no, definitely not. No,
No,
no, I
It's
haven't. I haven't done it. I don't have any time to do any Coursera studying.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, my boss also talked about efficient market theory. It's where all news that are available reflects on the market. So like all news has already affected the market.
Yeah, it's kind of, what is
Like
it? A buy the
instantly.
rumor, trade the news type of mentality.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. It's
Well,
just like
these
instant.
markets now, I mean, even as AI comes into play,
Yeah.
most of the future ideas coming in, the market has already built that in. For example, like we can talk about quickly on that without going too deep, like the Bitcoin and the halvening. Is this already built into the market? We know it's coming, or
Yeah.
like, so that's kind of the chicken or the egg there. What are your thoughts?
On the Bitcoin happening.
Yeah, because that's another example of, we know it's coming. The
Yeah.
market should already have this built in, but I don't think they have yet.
Well, I think the market's just more preparing for it since we know it's gonna happen, but not anytime soon. But when it does happen, I think it will reflect on price since what Bitcoin miners will be cut in half, right? No, the amount mined per block, right?
Yeah, I mean, I know some miners, and they've explained to me that, well, if you're not a commercial miners break even can be like 9,000 per Bitcoin, even get down to 6,000. That's their break even. Commercial, but I mean that's at serious scale.
Yeah.
Let's say you're like a smaller Bitcoin miner at, I don't know, 80 to 100 machines. Their break even now is about 10 to 12,000 Bitcoin. So that's where they start to feel pain, because you got to pay the electricity bill. But they were telling me that at the halvening, it's 24,000. So that's why I kind of believe right now Bitcoin can't go too much lower, because we know that the break even of those miners come probably April, May 2024 is going to be about 24,000.
Yeah.
So how much lower can we go? Because that's where we're going to kind of see it go down.
Yeah, we can't really tell how far it's going to go down, since the interest rates. But I think they are slowing interest rates now, so the news is affecting the price and where it'll go. So, I don't think we could really tell in this market condition.
Yeah, it's a bit. That's why it's very unstable. I mean, they just paused interest rates, but they said they're going to hike them. I mean, that's why the whole current financial system, it doesn't make any sense. Bitcoin's the only system where in 100 years you know exactly what it's going to do.
Yeah.
The financial system, they don't even know what they're doing next month. Like, yeah, well, we're gonna have to make decisions and see what banks collapse, and then decide from there. And well, maybe we need to collapse some people that aren't on our side.
Yeah, I mean, if more banks fail, then Bitcoin could probably go up, because that's what Bitcoin was made for.
Yeah.
After like 2010, the banking crisis.
Yes.
Yeah. It was created to protect civilians from banks, because banks lend out your money, and when people want to withdraw their money and there's so many withdrawals and they don't have the money,
you
then
just do a bank run.
Yeah.
When you're working at these brokerage firms, now they're dealing with traditional finance. I mean, again, you're dealing with things that are competitors to Bitcoin, like bonds and yields and treasuries, and you said you're dealing with the indexes as well. When you're at those, what are the perspectives of the people in your office on cryptocurrency?
I don't think any of them do crypto. Maybe some of them just like on the side at home for fun, just see if they can make money. But no, they don't really talk about crypto at work that much.
Are they not allowed to, or is this kind of like, don't bring crypto to work?
I think they just don't want to, since they're like they're brokering on really super duper serious instruments, like yeah, we have a Forex side over there, and like $6.6 trillion is traded every day, while like in crypto there's $1 trillion market cap in total.
Yeah.
So like, I don't think anyone really cares about crypto. I think in the London part of JB Tracks there is some people working on crypto, but I'm not sure what they're doing.
I won't go too much into it. I love it. I'm sure the audience doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
But they will when Bitcoin breaks 250. Then you'll be all coming back to me going, you should have listened. I think it's probably going to 5 million in the next 10, 15 years. But hey, that's my guess. I think by the end of the decade, we break 600,000. I said it. Clip this, reel that, timestamp this. Can just put this as a scheduled release reel in like 10 years. Let's jump a little bit ahead. You had your experience in Singapore. You came back home. When you came back here, were you going back to school, or did you immediately transition into what you're doing now at 444 Media?
Yeah. When I got back, I continued with my high school diploma. I recently got my high school diploma, I think maybe early February or late February, just somewhere in February. So then I'm done with school then. And then after that, I went to 444 Media, yeah.
So you've graduated high school. You're at pretty much before 16 or right around 16?
Right around 16.
And so what is the graduating age of high school? Isn't it like 17, 18, almost 18?
Well, I did it online, so I got online high school diploma, and it's called Penn Foster. And I read on Reddit and see the ages of people graduating. Some of them are like 14 years old, even some 16, 17, 18. So yeah, it's like 14 to 18 years old, and they've graduated at those ages.
So how does that break the traditional education system? I mean, why would anyone have to go to public school? I might as well go do it online.
I think it's better in person in case you have any questions, but online it's more self-taught because they give you like reading material and you go through it and you kind of understand it. And there's these flashcards where you look at the word, click on it, and then you understand what it means. And then there's just like a summary of the whole thing, and then like you get the information like that.
But
at the
how do
same
you,
time.
how can you take a test now? I mean, you're taking it from home.
Mhm.
You got one screen test, one screen chat GPT. What's going on here?
No. Yeah, there's the test is online where you press. It's more like a quiz actually. It's multiple question. It'd be like 20 questions, and they'd ask you the questions, and then just multiple.
Is there someone monitoring you live to
No,
make sure you're not cheating?
not at all.
My God, I should have just done this in high school. How does that transfer over when you want to go to university? Do they take this high school diploma? Is it credible? Are you able to get into, some of the more prestigious universities with it?
I think you could get into some universities, but the more serious ones, I think you need a better, more secure diploma. That's why I'm actually going to boarding school in 2 months. I'm going to UK for 2 years, and then to a school named Cranbrook, and I'm gonna board there, like I said, 2 years, and then I'm gonna get my diploma from there. So it's more secure and everything. It's just something I have to fall back on.
Okay. And do you think you'll be going into that school? I mean, you've graduated high school,
Yeah.
so you're just going to be relearning information?
Yeah, kind of. Well, actually, there's this thing called the sixth form where I think international students come in, and I'm not sure how it really is because my dad just talks about it. But I pick 3 to 4 lessons. The fourth one is optional, and I picked mathematics, economics, business studies, and I picked politics too.
Mm.
Yeah, I might drop politics if I don't like it, but I thought it'd be good for fundamental analysis.
What about psychology?
I don't think they had psychology.
I think if I went back, I would
yeah.
study psychology because I feel with mathematics and finance, everyone can learn the same. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's very black or white. But I feel like with a little bit of advanced psychology, not a degree, but some courses that allows you to get a bit more creative on maybe your trading or your ways in business as well, instead of becoming too robotic. What are your thoughts on that?
I think there's a lot of different ways to look at trading. A lot of people see trading in different ways. I did take a trading course, and I'm in a Discord group and learn there. So and like people see different setups from I do. I'm like, wow, I didn't even see that. I could have because I'm not even sure how, because I trade supply and demand zones, or some people call it support and resistance, order blocks. It has a bunch of different names, but I just call it supply and demand. It's easier to call it that. And people would get setups on different pairs where I see. But when they have it set up, it looks a lot cleaner than when I look at it. I'm not sure if it's their format or anything, but yeah, I think I'm going off road. But
No. So you're doing your own type of Forex trading personally for yourself. This is something. Is it for monetary gain or is it for education?
Both. I do like trading. I transitioned from crypto trading to Forex trading. I did indices before that, but I wanted to try out Forex and I kind of stuck to it. So then I wanted to become a Forex trader, trade with prop firms. I did pass phase 1, but unfortunately it kind of overlapped in my internship, so I couldn't trade phase 2. Yeah.
Now, your own Forex trading, what pairs are you trading? Obviously the
Oh.
typical top 10s. Are you focused on maybe 2 or 3 pairs?
I'm focused on like 14 pairs. It's like
everything, yeah.
GBP, USD, Euro, USD, AUD, USD. There's Japanese pairs like USD, JPY.
Yeah. So are you personally, we were talking before, now I thought that was related to your job in Singapore, but personally for yourself now, are you day trading essentially, like analyzing 4-hour candles and entering on 15 as well?
Before that, I was the first time I got into Forex trading, I did scalping first. So I only scalped the
Like
London
5 or 1 minute?
5 minute,
Fuck.
5 minute London session GBP USD.
That's just, you might as well just flip a coin.
Yeah. I was using RSI as well. So,
Yeah.
and like the SMAs or EMAs, 50 EMA and 200 EMA. Yeah, I actually, you know FTMO, right?
FTMO.
Yeah, that's a prop firm. I think that's
No.
the most popular prop firm. And they have this free trial where you, or just a demo, and you just trade for free just to test your skills. I did that and I passed like the first phase like 3 times with that. I'm like, I can do this. I'm so good. And then I took it and I failed. I flopped. I'm like, what the hell? So that has something to do with psychology, definitely.
Were you trying to trade patterns? Were you, I'm assuming you were probably telling yourself, don't FOMO.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
it-
I
is-
literally have a whiteboard
Yeah.
and it give me a lit. I wrote the list of criteria, and at the bottom it's in red, don't FOMO, because I FOMOed so much in the first phase.
Yeah,
it's
it's
like-
when I was doing Forex, I just found the problem for me personally with Forex.
Mhm.
I used to I did it for like 6 months, like 12, 16 hours a day. It's hard to do it in Thailand because we hit all the time zones here.
Yeah.
Because you can get up at 6, you can grab the Japan, Australian, then you pretty much ride that to lunch. And then at 3, you're grabbing the European market wakes up,
The
and
London
then you
session.
ride that till 6, and then boom, the American. So it's, the problem was like, you never want to stop. They don't get that luxury in the US because we go to bed, right? So the problem that I had with Forex, at the end of the day, you're just watching this chart, your brain is like, you're about to snap, and you're like, I'd rather just play Poker Stars. Like, what the fuck is this? At least like I can look at some cards. Like that's what my problem with it was initially, and that's why I stopped. And yeah, you make a little bit of money, but people don't realize like you're gonna be lucky to win 60% of your bets.
Mhm.
Like people, I'll win 100%. No, you're not.
No,
It's just not gonna happen.
They just have really large stop losses.
And if you're doing 8% a month, wow.
yeah,
And they'll be like, oh, well, if I have this much capital and I leverage this much and I hit 90%, I make this much. No, this is what everyone, they do the numbers and they
Yeah.
get their calculator and they dig their Excel spreadsheet and they think they have 20 grand and they're going to be a millionaire at the end of the month. No. You don't understand that, like, markets, you might see patterns, you might use indicators, you might enter on right RSI, depending on those entries and the right, stars of the crossing of 50 MAs and 200 MAs, and you don't put stop losses and you get wrecked.
Yeah, it just happens. But yeah, I haven't actually done true put actual money. I've been trading demo and doing the prop firms because I don't want to lose money.
Yeah.
And I think it's more fun to pass the challenges, and if I do lose, I won't lose my money. I lose prop firm's money, and I get 80% of the profits. I think that's a pretty good deal. So
if you get to that point, then they let you trade with their money.
Yeah.
What is that second level? I'm guessing probably 5-6% per month.
5% within 2 months.
Within 2 months.
Yeah.
So the first level was what, 3%?
No, first level is 8%.
And you
8% in
shit.
1 month.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and I passed that.
Yeah,
that was fun.
That is quite a bit. Okay, sorry, people are like, what the fuck is he even talking? If you
that was with day trading.
Yeah, people, if you don't understand day trading, I just skip past this part. Don't worry, it gets better. Okay, I had just a question thinking, when you're in Singapore, you're working these 12-hour days, you're 15 years old, like, did you get introduced to coffee? How the hell did you stay up and stay focused for those long days?
I think it was more 10 hours.
Okay.
Some days were probably 10 hours on average. I think there might be some days those 11 hours or 12, but those were like once or 2 times. But no, I didn't drink coffee, just snacks. Just ate snacks and water.
And, well, I guess you're young, you can keep going, and as long as you have you're getting enough sleep every night as well. I feel like it'd be quite the burnout. Were you ever burnt out at any point, or?
No, I think I was fine. Yeah. My coworker was really worked a lot. He every single day he'd get in at 5 or 7, and he'd stay till 9 p.m.
He was your age, or?
No, he was 25, 25, 26.
Doing kind of similar to what you were doing as well.
He was like one of the main brokers there.
Oh, okay.
On the desk. I mean, there'd be a day shift and a night shift. Sometimes we'd help the London office with the orders. So right now there's three on the night shift and 3 on the day shift. So
okay, I want to jump back. We're gonna go. We're kind of
Yeah, sure.
jumping around here. That's the podcast. You get to follow my mad mind and see where it goes. Before we do that, we're gonna do a quick shout out to our sponsor, 5 Star Marine. If you're not familiar with who they are, 5 Star Marine is a VIP luxury boat tour company on the island of Phuket. They're the only ones in all of Phuket that are going to allow you to basically create your own plan if that's what you choose. So typically a lot of these speedboat tours, they're going to decide where you're going, what time you're leaving, what's for lunch, who you're with. Which is a bit of a problem because imagine you're going to these islands off of Phang Nga Bay or Koh Phi Phi for the day. Well, all the speedboat tours are going to be at the same place. When you're dealing with 5 Star Marine, they're going to take you exactly to where you want to go. And they know a lot of the more hidden gems. These captains are very well trained. You're not going to have any of these problems that you've probably seen on the news. Let's not go into detail there. So again, you can check them out at 5 Star Marine Phuket. We'll put links in the description as well. And if you want that full private speedboat tour, hit them up. Okay, thanks a lot. And they're supporting this podcast, so that's very important, as you should. You support them, you support us.
Nice.
Okay, you're talking about going to Cranbrook in the UK for boarding school. Why not just do a couple years here in Phuket, BIS, or any of the other international schools?
Because I think my dad wants me to get familiarized with like the UK and how it's like to live in the UK, so I'll know where I want to live when I grow up, or if I want to stay in the UK and kind of like fit in there. So
being able to make the decision even if you would go to like an Oxford or a Harvard or these more, top 10, top 20 schools, to get that feeling of at least of that society. Is that something you want to do?
Yeah, I think it'd be fun to go to UK because I've always wanted to stay in the UK, live there, and now I'm getting to board there. So I think it's gonna be fun and cool. I'm gonna meet a lot of new people.
Yeah, and at least it's a complete change of Thailand. Phuket's kind of like it's a giant amusement park here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely not the real world, but it is better here. I mean, in terms of a lifestyle. What do you see yourself doing? What's your plan going to university? If you go or you don't go, I mean, especially at this age with all your experience, I mean, why not just bypass university and just start your own business, start doing your own thing and, save yourself 4 years?
I think it'd be safer to fall back on a university diploma, or is that what they call it? I'm not sure.
Sure. Yeah. Degree.
Oh, yeah, a degree.
College diploma.
Bachelor's degree. Yeah. I think it'd be safer to get one, so I think I'm gonna get one and try to trade full time, and if that doesn't go well, but I'm hoping it does, and I'm just gonna trade consistently, I'll work in economics and finance. I'll get a degree in economics and finance, so I could get a job and help my trading on the side. So
what's the dream here? Getting your own hedge fund going, or?
I think the dream is just to get like a bunch of prop firm accounts and like make 1 trade a month and done. Go to sleep, play games, have fun with my friends. Yeah, that's kind of like what I want.
Yeah, be at least
3% a month.
That's there's a lot riding on that. I mean, when you're trading at that level, you're probably looking at the 3-day charts and maybe executing on 4-hour.
No, well, right now I'd say I'm day trading. I switched from scalping to day trading. I put up the zones or the supply and demand zones on the 4-hour, 2-hour, 1 hour. Sometimes not 30-minute. That's just too low. But I do 1 hour to 4-hour time frames, and then I entry on either. If it was on 4-hour, I entry on 1 hour, and if I can't find an entry, I'd go down to 15 minutes. And if the zone is plotted from the 1 hour time frame, I'd go to 15 minutes right away.
This type of trading, it's very high stress. It's very fast paced. I mean, it's gambling at the end of the day. There's definitely a gambling touch to this stuff.
Yeah.
And every degenerate like me loves it in that sense. Would you ever consider, why not, maybe Stu's going to kill me on this.
Why not poker?
Yeah. Why not poker?
Nah.
Why is that?
Because I think that's just full on blast gambling. Well, this has some technical and reasoning behind it.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people living in Phuket that are like poker millionaires,
Really?
just from playing online. But these are strategies. Like they treat poker like day trading as well. They have rules and strategies, and they don't break them. And over time, that's what makes them the money as well. For yourself, let's go back now. You're at 444 Media.
Yep.
You're focusing on SEO, and we talked a little bit about that before the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But how did you even get involved in that now? Now you've gone from Forex, day trading, to working at 444 Media on the analytics side in SEO. I mean, these are still two very different things.
Yeah. Well, once I got my high school diploma, I wanted to trade full on, learn, do prop firm challenges, pass them, trade monthly. But my dad said that I should go to this internship where my best friend Alex is going to, because the school I used to go to with my sister and where all my friends go to right now, Life School Phuket, has a connection with 444 Media. So me and Alex are the first people to go to 444 Media. I think some more people a while after will come too. So I think it's like a mutual exchange. The kids get experience and 444 Media gets free workers.
Well, shout out to 444 Media for allowing Tiger to come on today. You're on your lunch break essentially.
Yeah.
So props to you guys. Check them out, 444media.com. Is that it?
Yeah.
444media.com. Interesting. For them now, again, you're getting into the SEO and analytics side. And like I explained, I used to do Black Hat SEO way back in the day. So I can talk about that as well. But how did you prepare for that? You would have had to have taken a course. You can't just jump into SEO, even on an internship. It's very technical.
Well, I didn't do any preparing because I didn't even know I was gonna do SEO. It just had me show up. I thought I was gonna do ads or something, and then I found out there's a lot more to marketing than just ads, and I mean like Google ads and billboards. And then once I got in, my boss just said you'll be working on SEO for the first couple of weeks, where it's just me learning about SEO online. Have you heard of SEMrush, the tool SEMrush? Or
SEMrush.
Yeah,
yes.
SEMrush. I say it's SEMrush.
Yeah.
We mainly use that, and then now we got more SEO workers, or just one more. So it's just me and him just going back and forth on ideas on what we should do.
What are you doing with SEMrush, or like in terms of the tool?
Well, we would use it to find PR news, and we'd also calculate the metrics, and then we could also see the bounce rate and all the metrics and see if it's worth paying them this much. And then I made a formula on Google Sheets to determine if they're worth the price, scoring on like their visits, backlinks, their bounce rate, and etc. And they wanted 444 Media wanted a low ball a lot, so we'd get like the best price.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Essentially, you're talking to a media company, and that's not your media company. I mean, the PR companies that want to charge you to do an article with them, and they always have these ridiculous prices, and they love to show you their stack sheets. We have 8 million impressions per day, and it's like, okay, just what's my, at the end of the day, when you talk to these people, it's like, what's my ROI?
Yeah.
If I give you $10, how much are you going to make me? How many people are going to see this? Who's the audience? There's a lot of questions there. And usually all these stack decks are just, smoke and mirrors, bullshit. And they'll give you a price. Then now you're taking that and saying, is this price, does this price make sense?
Yeah.
Let's say at a 10 PR companies where you do that analysis, do any of them make sense, or 9 times out of 10 it's just ridiculous costs?
I'd say 7 out of 10 there's just ridiculous prices, but some of them are actually really worth it because they'd have like 10 million visits a month with like 10 million backlinks, 12 million backlinks for like $3,000, which if you put
Bot or dollars?
Dollars. Yeah. Once you compare it to like the other blogs, it is worth it, but it's not. It's more safe to kind of diversify on the different news articles, since right now we're creating a list of blogs and contacted them and trying to negotiate on price. One of them $60 and decent metrics. So
what's the math there? You're essentially, you have a client that is it a hotel company? Let's say?
Probably.
Okay, so you got, or a hotel. It's an actual hotel. Let's say on the island of Phuket, they come to you and say, I need you to drive traffic to my website.
Yeah.
You're finding these hotel bloggers, travel bloggers, something like this.
Some.
And then you're reaching out to them, which is no different than if someone was reaching out to an Instagram influencer and saying, can you do a post? You're doing it in that sense and saying, can you write a blog about me? Is that kind of the process?
Yeah, kind of. Right now we're checking for Thailand blogs. So any expats in Thailand would read, or we're looking for @expats blog, which expats would read. And then we're planning to put our blog on, promoting either that hotel, and we calculate the ROI, by how much it cost, and the click-through rate to which the people would click, read, and visit the actual website, and then again, maybe 1% of those that actually visit the website actually
convert.
Yeah, convert.
So, do you want some water?
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
yeah.
No worries. Okay, so let's walk through that. Now, do you have a pricing, or I don't want to call it like a model, essentially, to say, okay, if this vlog gets 1 million views, or I guess at that, I don't know. No, it's not really an impression. 1 million views.
Yeah.
Or let's keep it easier. If this piece of material has the potential to get 10,000 views, something more realistic.
Yeah.
And 10,000 people click and they're going to read that. What percentage are going to click onto my hotel that bring me to my landing page? Mm-hmm. And let's call that maybe 1%. So what's that, 1,000? Out of 10,000, 1,000 people actually come. Yeah. And then of that, what percent convert to a buyer? And call that 1%, maybe 10. Yeah. Let's call it 10. So that gives you 100 people. So 100 people buy, and what do they average spend? Let's call it $100. So 100 times 100, what's that? 100,000? No,
10,000.
10,000. So now, okay, they're going to spend 10,000, and you want me to pay you 5,000. All right, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that's kind of how you're doing the math.
That's how, yeah.
But a lot of the times, do you have to take into variables such as like lifetime customer, like the lifetime value of the customer? Meaning, like, if someone's coming to stay at your hotel, well, that's that price there today. But what percentage of those people are repeat customers? Because actually now your metrics need to change.
Yeah.
Do you take that into consideration?
Well, the backlinks PR buying is something we've thought of recently, so we don't really have any data on it yet. Still contacting and negotiating the pricing, because I think we're hoping to be like a long-term PR poster, and so I'm hoping we're getting like a discounted price in exchange as frequent posts. But for the hotels, I know that we are doing mainly Google ads, or no, Facebook ads, sorry. And those are doing pretty well.
Are you just doing the analytics for the Facebook to determine, or are you actually helping with the creative?
I think I'm helping with what do you mean by creative, actually?
Like actually, okay, the copy, the maybe giving some direction on the images, what is the article going to say? What's the copy going to say, instead of just purely on the data side?
I think I think our quality manager kind of deals with that because that's what he's the creative person out of all of us, and we'd also have the video editor. He's also really creative, and he does social media marketing, and no, we just the quality manager would do it.
Yeah, I think I used to work in market analytics, and we would work with another team. We would call it GIS, Geographical Information Systems. And they would help determine where you do the advertising outside.
Right.
And then we would do the analysis to determine who is the demographic. So the reason, like, for example, for that would be, let's say, a bus station in Singapore. What is the demographic of that bus station? Like, is it the 25-year-old mother with one kid? Or, okay, we're a cell phone company. Yeah. Okay, that's the ad.
Yeah.
What does she need? What's her pain points? Well, it's probably a discount. So it's maybe her with her child on the stroller. That's the creative. And we give that. Now, do we create the creative? No. But we give that data to say, this is what you should be doing. Now go create that ad for that. That's a whole other side. GIS is like, it's very... there's their own programs for them. Yeah. I forget the name of one of them, but they're able to do like geospatial analysis to determine like where they're going to be putting ads and whatnot. And that's, again, it's more like outside. I don't know if that's too applicable to Phuket, probably Bangkok. But anyways, that's my crazy mind there. All right, before we, the viewers today are like, I've bored them to death. I love this shit. I'm sure some of you might like it. Of what's going on. Before we wrap this up, so your next steps now, you're at 444 Media, and you're going to Cranbrook. So what month are we in? It's so hard. June. Yeah. You're leaving in September?
August.
You're leaving in August?
Yeah.
And you'll be doing 2 years. Are you going to be coming back during Christmas, like December, or are you going to wait until the summer again?
I might come back just to see like my friends and everything and my family. Maybe next summer or Christmas, but most likely Christmas. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, I think we have a reoccurring guest here with Tiger. We're following. If you're following this podcast, you're following his journey.
My life.
Who knows? Maybe like I'll be investing in his hedge fund as long as like I don't get liquidated by Bitcoin in the next 24 hours. So I think that's gonna wrap up another episode of the podcast. I don't know how long that went. I could have, once I go down the analytical train, I'm loving it. So anyone out there that loves Excel sheets and numbers, you might like this. If not, sorry about that. But you're probably still not even watching right now anyways.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So, well, I guess we can't, Tiger's still under the age of 16, so we're not going to share his socials where you can find him. In 2 years, maybe we will. But we'll keep that hidden. I'll just put his dad's socials in the description. Okay, thanks a lot for joining us. That wraps up another episode. Don't forget to buy our mushrooms. That's what we do. Fruiting Body mushrooms, medicinal mushroom supplements. It's great stuff. You're gonna love it. Okay, and we're out.